This is going to be a quick video to show how I managed to trace the picture of the lemon that I posted earlier. So we have Leonardo open, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import File and find my picture. Click on Open. Now this is a picture that I drew in Procreate a little while ago. And it's not the typical easy trace that you would expect to be doing. It's something a little bit. It isn't the typical easy trace you would expect to have to do. It is a little more involved than that. You can see here that the background has got different colours in it. It's all very blurry. It's got effects applied to it. Not your typical straight white, black or transparent background. So here we have mask tolerance. I've got mine set to 25, which is fine. The more tolerance you have, the more is going to be taken out because we're trying to remove the background. So this is removing background, mask tolerance. And you can see what happens when you put it right the way up, and you can get virtually nothing at the end of the day. This is, how can I say it? It's like if you had a crowd of people and you had one person in the center that you wanted to get at, and you chose to take 5 people out of that crowd that were around him. That's a bit like mask tolerance. So we want to have the grid on for the time being, and you can see the odd transparent area that I had has been emphasized here. So we want to select a color range, and actually I'll put that back up to 25, I think. There we go. I want to select a color range. And here we have color tolerance. Now that's the same kind of thing, but not quite the same. So for example, if you were to sample a little green there, and you said, right, I want no color tolerance whatsoever, it would only take that shade of green out and nothing else. If you increase the tolerance, it'll take out colors which are close to that color. And the higher you go in the tolerance scale, the more it's going to take out. So in this particular case, I want to remove color, and I'm going to start clicking on here and taking color out. Now you have to be careful that you don't take too much color out, and you want to make sure that you get the little bits that are strays wherever they may be. Oh, there's another one down there. Now it's not that easy to see the strays when you've got this mode on. So if you click off of the grid, you can see, there's a little bit there maybe that wants to come out. Have I got any odd bits? There's a little bit down here that perhaps I don't want. You can add things back in if you want to. All right, so I can, or if I think, oh, that's a little bit too small, I can go on the include and I can do a bit on the outside there. So it's personal taste. And of course, if you take the color tolerance down, that will also decrease what is actually masked. So you can do that in real time and take it down. So that's how you do it. I'm going to put the grid back on, and I can see that I've got my lemon. I've got all the edges of my lemon, and I've got my shadow underneath, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to click on next, and it looks like nothing's happening for a second, and then the magic starts to happen. And it starts to transform itself. Now, at the moment, I have the include holes on, and I really don't want that to be on, but I've left it on so that you can see what the result is if it is on. And it's going to do its magic now and tell me what I've actually got at the end of the day. There we go, that's what I've got. Now this is what I said about the include holes, because I don't want those bits to be cut out. So if I check that off, we then get the outside of the lemon and we have that shadow. Now my smoothing level at the moment is set to 60. I can, of course, if I want to, increase that right the way up to 100. And then it's going to go through a smoothing process and take out a few lumps and bumps. Really and truly, it's only that shadow underneath the lemon which would be problematic. And that's because that was airbrushed and it had effects applied to it and so on and so forth. So we can apply a minimum contour area to this as well. So if you've got any very small items that are in your image, you can get rid of them by using that. It's a bit like saying, right, anything under ½ an inch I don't want, that type of thing. That's what it is. And if you're happy with your image as is, then you can just click on next and your item is finished. So we have a contour offset option if we want it. We can also have a wireframe view. If we want to, that will take the picture out of the frame. You just get the wireframe. And if you want a contour offset, if I put this right up, you can see it a little more easily. It's quite subtle on the screen, so you can see that is quite a large contour. But it does have the advantage, if you have something which is a little, shall we say, prickly on the outside line, a contour offset will smooth out that prickliness a little bit. And we have the clip artwork, hide background, yeah, that's fine. We could have a contour bleed if we wanted one, but personally I don't. And if you want to, you can change the colour of that, so you could change it to white if you wanted to. And you have a bleed offset as well that you can go up and down with. Personally, I tend to prefer not having too much of an offset. And in this particular case, I would probably not want an offset at all. I would probably just want to have the shape cut out as it is. So that's it, we are finished. We just click on finish and then we have our lemon. Now to cut your lemon out, you will want your registration marks. You can alter your registration marks, by the way. You can put them down to, let me see, we got 0.250, so we could have 125 perhaps. There we go. That's put the registration marks in a bit further. Or you could have them on page marks like that. I don't think I would want to use that much page for something this size, so I would probably want to put them like that, and then you can use the rest of the page for whatever you want to use it for. And if you don't want your page grid showing, you don't have to have your page grid showing. And it is a print and cut job. Yes, it is. And so we have our paper size for the print and cut is on A4, which is the standard European size, generally speaking. Send the design, and then we end up with these two things on the left-hand side. The bottom one here is the cutting contours, and the top one is the artwork. So you send this one to your printer, just go File and Print, or actually no it isn't, it's Send to Printer, it's over there, sorry. And then you have your cutting contours which you send to your cutter, and that's it. Okay, I hope you found that useful. I will probably do more videos in the future, so I'll see you soon. Take care.